All right, good afternoon, everybody. We are almost ready to begin our first round of quarterfinals here at USCSA National Championships. We're out at Mammoth Mountain. It's 2023, and as you can see from your screen on the live broadcast, or if you're joining us in person, you've already figured it out. It is snowing, the wind is whipping, but we are running a Nordic race. So again, we will kick off our quarterfinals now. They will begin around noon time, so we have about a minute or so left. Quarterfinals will have 6 different competitors competing against each other. There will be 5 quarterfinals for the women and 5 quarterfinals for the men. We will run all of the quarterfinals before switching to semis, so expect to see both women and men within the next hour. Each one will have a 5-minute increment, so we will run a 12, a 12:05, a 12:10, a 12:15, and so on and so forth. We expect everyone to be finished with these around 12:45 before we move to semifinals, which will begin around 12:50. So that's our schedule moving forward. In our first quarterfinal at noon exactly, we have the women. We have Lily Eubanks, Claudia Burgess, Julia Everest, Kaisa Bosek, Regan Hansen, and Erwin McClish. So they should be getting their way. You can see a few competitors already now on our screen making their way toward the start corral. So again, they will all start at once. It'll be a mass start here. We will see everyone go at once. And if you are here in the venue, you know, but they are starting in legitimate powder. We are getting a blizzard. A Bob cyclone from Lake Placid last year has moved into Mammoth Lakes, and we will now have it here for you. So again, we will get ready to kick this off. They are getting their instructions, and then they will begin. And again, we will run 5-minute increments. So our next quarterfinal will consist of Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Emma Reinke, Lydia Anderson, Samantha Wineland, and Sailor Landrum. But again, this is our first one. So Lily Eubanks, Claudia Burgess, Julia Everest, Kaisa Bosek, Regan Hansen, and Erwin McClish. And I will do my best to get you the bib numbers on them. It looks like we are running them. Looks like bib number 1 will be Lily Eubanks, bib 10, Claudia Burgess, bib 11, Julia Everest, bib 20, Kaisa Bosek, bib 21, Regan Hansen, and bib 30 is Erwin McClish. So again, women's sprints here, 2023 USCSA National Championships, Mammoth Mountain, California, the home of the 2023 National Championships. It's been a blast out here so far. Tons and tons of snow, amazing conditions to alpine skiing, maybe not the best Nordic, but we're kicking it off anyway. And they're in the start, ready to go. And here they go, double pole start. This is our first quarterfinal of the afternoon. You can see the amount of powder and snow they are having to push through. Again, they are on skate skis today. This is a skate sprint. It took them about 3.5 minutes on average in the first round earlier today. So we expect it will take them about a similar time. So again, we will see these women go out and then finish quickly with us today. So we are running sprints, 5-minute intervals. Our first heat, again, Lily Hughbanks, Claudia Burgess, Julia Everest, Kaisa Bosek, Regan Hansen, and Erwin McClish have all left the start gate. And if you're joining us on the live feed now, you can tell that we cannot see them, and we will not see them until they are about 5 feet in front of us. Those are the conditions we're having to deal with today. We've unfortunately lost a few other events today due to the weather, but we are able to run the Nordic event. So again, we will keep an eye out for them on our screens, and we will try to get you who's in the lead with bib numbers and everything like that. We have a cameraman also stationed at the finish, which you know if you joined us earlier, and we will pick up with him and try to get you results as fast as possible. There will be 2 semifinal heats for both the women and the men today, and those will also consist of 6 different racers. We'll do 2 final races as well to get places 1 through 6, and again 7 through 12. So we'll kick those off as soon as we can get them. As soon as we see the women come through here, we'll catch you up. Our third quarterfinal heat of the day will be at 12:10. It'll have Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, Jackie Wells, Hannah Kreider, Lily Magnus, and Isabel Bergman. Our fourth quarterfinal will have Katie Milligan, Susong, Michaela Sheep, Chrisana Andrews, Hadley Jensen, Kyla Hilgendorf-Roost, Jenna Badu. And our fifth one will have Anna Miller, Ava Schiefert, Mira Thompson, Ainsley Casper, Fabia Emblem, and Madison Larder. Oh, and here we go. We're starting to see some competitors come down. Looks like we have 3 out of the 6 on our first initial wave here. So again, they're skating through powder, ladies and gentlemen. This is not easy skating. This is sprint style. You can see their bib number 1. That's Lily Hughbanks, obviously qualified first. Right behind her, bib 10. Claudia Burgess. Right behind them, bib 11. That's Julia Everest. And then we have our fourth competitor now coming through. That looks to be bib 20, which is Kaisa Bosek. So we went 1, 10, 11, and 20, which is how they qualified. Ranks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, we will try to catch them for the finish line as well. You can see the visibility we're dealing with, but we'll do our best. We did not see bib 21, which is Regan Hansen, and bib 30, which is Erin McCulloch, but we do see them now on our screen. Looks like this would be bib 30. That is Erwin McClish coming through now, so we've probably seen all 6 of our first quarterfinal competitors. Again, we will now look for the finish line. We will try to find out who is going to continue on and who will not be. Remember, our first 3 at that first checkpoint were Lily Hughbanks, Claudia Burgess, and Julia Everest. 3 skiers from last year that skied amazing at USCSA Nationals, so I expect big things from them. 1.5K kilometer race here. Again, fast on the first heats of the day. We only spent about 3.5 minutes waiting for our women. Again, conditions have now changed. We are in the middle of a bob cyclone, putting down massive amounts of snow and wind. Visibility is low. These athletes are competing against it, but we're getting a great shot here. Bib number 1, that would be Lily Hughbanks. St. Olaf College here, coming in strong. And then right behind her, that is bib 10. That's Claudia Burgess. So back-to-back, those are your top 2. Looked like it was Lily Hughbanks and Claudia Burgess who really skied away from the third place finisher, which would have been Julia Everest in bib 11. So that really good downhill. Now we're going to have a little bit of a photo finish here. That is bib 11, and that is also bib, I believe, 20, which is Kaisa Bosek now, fighting for that 3rd spot overall here in the quarterfinal. Looks like Julia Everest did manage to hang on, so she will be 3rd. Kaisa Bosek will be 4th. We're now just waiting for Regan Hansen and Erwin McClish to come down through. And there we go. There's a racer. Again, visibility amazingly low on our webcam, but shout out to our cameramen and women today who are holding it down for us. That is bib 30. That's Erwin McClish coming down through. Skiing through the powder like a champion. Again, Nordic skiers are not fond of powder. Alpine racers also not as fond of powder, but maybe a little bit more excited for it. Your freestyle, your free ride, your big mountain guys, they love this stuff. This is what they dream of. But your Nordic skiers particularly are not fans. It is not fast. It is not easy to skate through. It is not easy to classic ski through. It looks like we may be having some slight technical difficulties with our first camera, so if we will hopefully get that back up and running as soon as possible, as again, we just started a heat. Oh, and we do have it back. Awesome. Just a quick little burst there. So again, for the second quarterfinal was Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Emma Reinke, Lydia Anderson, Samantha Wineland, and Sailor Landrum here. So the 6 of them now competing for a spot in the semifinals. Again, our 2 women's semifinals will kick off about 12:50 and 12:55. We're just about on schedule, which is an awesome start. Again, dealing with some tough conditions. Races may be slightly slower than we saw in the morning, but we still expect a quick course for these girls as they only ski about a K.5. So a very short amount of distance for skiers of this level. Normally we're skiing 7.5, 10, 15K, so 1.5K, a quick race here. Once again, I want to thank Mammoth Mountain, California for hosting us. This is maybe the record amount of snow they've ever gotten. They are literally on pace to break their all-time record, and yet we still have an amazing venue like this today. I mean, we're working in tough conditions, but can't say enough for both the Mammoth Mountain workers and also the USCSA volunteers here with us. So again, big shout out to everyone who was involved. An amazing product put on place. Again, it's all for the athletes. It's all about the athletes, and it's all about making sure they enjoy themselves as much as possible. And I can tell you from being here Monday and Tuesday and just skiing around, they were in love with the conditions. There were alpine teams out there like crazy. They were absolutely shredding, taking lines I didn't think were possible. It's an unbelievable scene out here at Mammoth Mountain, California. Obviously not the competition venue we had hoped for, but an amazing experience for everyone involved. So again, quarterfinal number 2 had Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Emma Reinke, Lydia Anderson, and Samantha Weiland, and then finally Sailor Landrum in that. Quarterfinal number 3 will have Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, Jackie Wells, Hannah Kreider, Lily Magnus, and Isabel Bergman coming through. And then as you can see here, we're starting to see our first skiers of the second quarterfinal coming through. The amount of snow they're having to kick through right now is unbelievable, but that is bib 4. That's Samantha Vauthier right now leading the way with bib 7, I believe, right behind her. That's Lucia Weiland, looking like she was using her to draft off of. And then here come 3 in a row. Bib 14, that's Emma Reinke. Bib 17, that's Lydia Anderson, and bib 24 is Samantha Wineland. It actually looked like Samantha Wineland was in front of Lydia Anderson there as I double checked. And then finally here comes bib 27, that's Sailor Landrum now. Again, trucking through powder. I told you before, but it is not fun to ski in powder. You can just take my word for it. As a high school Nordic skier coached by UMF's own Buzz Bean, it is not very fun unless you're going on Faceplant Hill and just trying to wreck yourself. But to be able to ski through this shows an intense amount of grit and determination. So we're really proud of all the athletes here for toughing it out and making sure that they have an enjoyable 1.5 sprint K here. Okay, so now we are looking forward to the finish. Again, we saw them basically in order from where they qualified, except for it looked like Samantha Wineland had jumped over bib 17, which was Lydia Anderson, and then Lucia Weiland and Samantha Vauthier were both fighting for that top spot. Samantha was leading the way, but it looked like Lucia was doing a good job of staying in her track, letting her break through the snow, and then jumping into that behind her. So again, waiting on them now, looking for them in the start. We also have our third quarterfinal of the day now lining up, which is Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, Jackie Wells, Hannah Kreider, and Lily Magnus, and Isabel Bregman, But here come our first 2 finishers from that same heat. It looks like it's still Samantha Vauthier and Lucia Weiland. Understanding what we're doing here. We're doing heats. You just have to qualify, right? Doesn't matter if you take first or second as long as you get in. So those 2 now have finished. We're going to wait on Emma Reinke, Lydia Anderson, Samantha Wineland, and Sailor Landrum. And there are 3. There's bib 14, bib 24, and bib 17, which are Emma Reinke, Lydia Anderson, and Samantha Wineland again coming in there. And then here comes our final finisher for that heat, which is bib 27, Sailor Landrum. It looks like we might be still having some technical difficulties with our start camera, which is unfortunate for sure. Obviously a tough condition out there, so we're trying to catch it up. Looks like we've picked it back up, so we apologize for keep saying that, but we're just trying to make sure that we get you guys the best product possible. Quarterfinal number 3 now in the start corral. So we've got, again, Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, Jackie Wells, Hannah Kreider, Lily Magnus, and Isabel Bergman in the start gate. Those are bib 5, bib 6, 15, 16, 25, and 26, respectively. Looks like they've been given their instructions. Again, double pull start here for the girls, and then they go into their skate. A few of them backing away now, so we may be experiencing just a little bit of a delay. Again, we're trying to run in 5-minute increments here, but we're obviously doing our best in accommodating the weather and the conditions. So, as soon as they are ready, we will catch you live with them. If you're joining us on the live feed again, you are looking at the conditions. Bob Cyclone, brought in from Lake Placid 2022 to experience here at Mammoth, California. But we are excited to be here nonetheless. Again, skiing and riding has been unbelievable the past 2 days, especially alpine venue-wise. Again, disappointed about the competitions, but trying to make the most of our situation. I know a ton of athletes out here have been just having an absolute blast. Watching them ski around has been nothing but enjoyable for all of us involved. Again, we are here with women's sprints for the Nordic event, so we were able to get this Nordic event in, and also at the same time we were able to run snowboard and ski across currently. So if you're interested in that and you want to check on their live feed, I believe they started right around noontime today. So you can check over and pop over and maybe keep both of them going so you can listen to both of us at the same time. Again, we're running quarterfinal number 3 here as soon as we're ready. Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, Jackie Wells, Hannah Kreider, Lily Magnus, and Isabel Bergman. Quarterfinal number 4 will have Katie Milligan-Sissong, Michaela Sheet, Chrisanna Andrews, Hadley Jensen, Kayla Hilgendorf-Roost, and Jenna Badu. And athletes trying to stay warm in the start gate. This is the worst news for them. They get all ready, and then it gets a little delayed, but they're doing an awesome job. Stay moving, stay warm. You can never get warm enough. You can always be warmer. So I listed off quarterfinal number 4, and then we'll do quarterfinal number 5 as we wait here. So Anna Miller, Ava Schiefert, Mira Thompson, Ainsley Casper, Fabia Emblem, and Madison Larder will be going in the final quarterfinal of the afternoon for the women. We will switch right over to quarterfinal for men's again. Those will start about 12:25, although we are slightly behind. Oh, and it looks like quarterfinal number 3 has taken off. So again, looking for bibs 5, 6, 15, 16, 25, and 26 as we get them into the second half here. Looks like we've already started to skate. A little bit of fighting there for position, trying to get into someone else's track. Use someone to your advantage. Let them plow through snow before you have to. Remember, all it is about qualifying. The girls know that. They understand what they're looking at. They just need to be in the top 2 here to move on, so that's what they're looking at. Well, again, we're going to run 2 semifinal heats. The women's are scheduled about 12:50 and 12:55. There'll be 6 competitors in each of those as well. Again, as we start to lose them here in our fog, in our snow, in our wind, we will try to pick them up as soon as possible. Again, they're going up to the top there, making a U-turn and coming directly back down. They then enter back into the corral and then round through some trees and back through our finish line, which we will get to you as soon as we can and we see them. Again, as we look forward here, quarterfinal number 4 will be about, well, we're 12:15 now, so let's assume it's going to be about 5 minutes behind, so we'll say 12:20. 12:20 for quarterfinal number 4 will be Katie Milligan, Sue Song, Michaela Shate, Chrisanna Andrews, Hadley Jensen, Kaya Hilgendorf-Roost, and Jenna Badu. For those of you joining us on the live stream, it is currently a whiteout. We are legitimately whited out. That is not a camera issue. That is just the conditions we are dealing with. It does continue to pick up, and the snow continues to fall. Again, very intense conditions out there for this women's sprint and also the men's sprint. Not projected to lose any of the snow or wind. So we will expect the same conditions, which makes it a very even playing field for all of the athletes. So if nothing else, we have that going for us. And again, not a camera issue here you're looking at. This is exactly what the conditions are like. I am staring out a window as well as at the screen here, and it is exactly like this. So I apologize if we do not pick up the athletes as they come in. We are currently doing our best to get you as much footage as possible. Again, Mammoth Mountain, California. Oh, I see two athletes emerging from the fog. Bib 5, Bib 6, I believe, and Bib 16. I'm peering in as hard as I can. That would be Ayla Bodak-Turner, Jessie Church, and Jackie Wells, I believe, were the three that we just picked up. Now we're coming back through. Here it comes. That is actually Bib 15, so that would be Jackie Wells. We may have seen Bib 16 earlier, which would be Hannah Kreider. We've got a little tuck skate open arm going. That may be the best strategy. I could not catch her bib. And then finally was Bib 26, I believe. That's Isabel Bregman, which would make Lily Magnus our Bib 25 there. Again, we've now lost them. We'll wait for them to come through the finish. Again, not a camera issue, ladies and gentlemen, just an actual environment these skiers are skiing through. You can imagine it, hopefully, if you're sitting on your couch at home nice and warm, that this is not all that fun to ski in, but they are toughing it out. We cannot say enough about these athletes persevering through tough conditions to entertain us, first of all, and then to obviously compete with one another. So again, we are now just waiting to see if we can see them emerge through this fog. I can see some spectators now by the tree. That's a good sign. Maybe it's starting to lighten up just a tad. Again, can't say enough for everyone who's here today. As you can see the person on the side of your screen now, hopefully, he's trudging through the snow. And that's how deep it is. He is on a track. It looks like our two finishers now are coming through, though. That is Bib 5 and Bib 6. Again, Ayla Bodak-Turner and Jessie Church here now coming in. Again, understanding the situation. You don't have to win. You just have to move on. You don't want to, if you're already in the lead, you don't want to give everything you've got because then you'll be toast. Bib 16 now, Hannah Kreider coming in. She will be our third place finisher for the quarterfinal number 3. And coach is running next to the track. You can see the snow they're dealing with, and then you can see the snow the athletes are dealing with. That is Bib 15. That's Jackie Wells out of Cornell University. And then it looks like we have Bibs 25 and 26. Looks like Bib 25, that would be Lily Magnus, jumped ahead of Isabel Bregman there. And it appears we may have again lost our start camera. We apologize. Oh, no, we are back, I believe, now. Apologies for all these technical difficulties. Again, conditions we are dealing with are not easy, and the camera operators are doing absolutely everything they can to keep shots coming at you. We just seem to keep losing it for a bit there, but we keep picking it back up. So, in the start corral now for quarterfinal number 4 for the women is going to be Katie Milligan-Susong in Bib 2, Michaela Sheet in Bib 9, Chrisana Andrews in Bib 12, Hadley Jensen in Bib 19, Kaya Hilgendorf-Roost in Bib 22, and Jenna Badeau in Bib 29. And here they go. They are off. Again, you can see how slow going it is just by the snow. This is not an athlete effort issue. This is a condition issue. This is as fast as those ladies can go in these conditions, excuse me. But you can see, again, jockeying for position now as they all go into some sort of V1, V2 skate here. Again, a V2 skate with both sides and then a V1 on one side. You also have your alternate, which is here some of them may be throwing in now. Typically used on an uphill as a V1, typically used on some sort of flat, slight uphill as a V2, and then alternate usually as you get more fatigued in the race or on maybe like a slight downhill-ish area. Again, they're going to go into that fog. We are going to lose them completely, and then we will pick them up as soon as we possibly can when they come back around. Again, we are looking for bibs 2, 9, 12, 19, 22, and 29. And those are Katie Milligan-Susong, Michaela Sheet, Chrisana Andrews, Hadley Jensen, Kaya Hilgendorf-Roost, and Jenna Badeau. So if you see one of them, know that those are their bibs, and we will understand, and we will do the best we can to get you who's in the lead as soon as possible. Our final quarterfinal of the day is going to be, for the women, is going to be Ann Miller, Ava Schiefert, Mira Thompson, Ainsley Casper, Fabia Emblem, and Madison Larder. So again, expect those people in bib in quarterfinal number 5. Originally scheduled for about 12:20. We're running about 5 minutes behind, but again, due to weather, you can kind of understand. And again, we will find and try to pick out those racers as soon as we possibly can from the start here. So again, this is our start camera. I know it doesn't look like much on your live stream right now. You can see one small person kind of fluffing some of the V boards. as he gets a little closer to the screen, starts to become a little more apparent to us. But again, we are absolutely whiteout conditions at this point in time. We are doing our absolute best to try to pull someone out of the crowd here, pull out of the mist. Again, want to give a huge shout out to the camera operators who are in the conditions currently. I am sitting in a heated trailer, so I can't really complain, but they absolutely have a reason to complain. Okay, it looks like we have a bib coming through. That does look like bib number 2. That would be Katie Milligan Susong, followed closely behind. I can't catch her bib. Oh, number 9 it appears, and then number 12. 9 is Michaela Sheet, and 12 is Chrisana Andrews. Missed a bib there, I know, but bib 15 now coming in, it looks like. Bib maybe 19 was Hadley Jansen, and then 29, Jenna Badeau. Again, fighting through both the weather and the snow. Wind like whipping them in the face, snow on their feet. Not an easy ski day at all. Volunteers covered, hooded up, goggled up, even without competing. We're all just trying to get through today as best as possible. But here we have a shot from our finish feed. Again, we will try to pick up our athletes as soon as possible, give you the most up-to-date I can about who is going to be competing in the semifinals. Again, we're looking for top 2s here. So that was our final that was our final quarterfinal will be Ann Miller, Ava Scheifer, Mira Thompson, Ainsley Casper, Fabi Emblem, and Madison Larder. And that quarterfinal will kick off here shortly. That'll be the final quarterfinal for the women, and then we'll start our first quarterfinal for the men, which will feature Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Graydon Walker, James Roloff, Timothy Ziegler, and Connor Roberts. But it does appear we have a finisher here. This is bib number 2, Katie Milligan Susong, and then it looks like right behind her is still bib. Oh no, is that bib number 9? Bib number 9, yes, that is still Michaela Sheet, and then bib number 12 here coming in, Chrisana Andrews. Bib 22, it looked like on there, would be Kaya Hilgendorf-Roost. And then finally coming in here, bib number 19. No, that's Hadley Jensen, excuse me. Hadley Jensen there coming in. That was bib 19. And then it looks like bib number 29 now is coming in, which would be Jenna Badeau out of UMF. It does appear that we've now lost another event, unfortunately, at USCSA, so I have heard, unfortunately, that the skier cross race has been canceled. Again, we are dealing with some technical difficulties with our camera 1, which is our start camera. We are currently in the process of trying to figure those out. It does seem to keep cutting out. Again, Britt down there is dealing with some very serious wind right in her face. She's doing her absolute best to keep it running, so can't thank her enough. We did just finish our 4th quarterfinal, and we are moving on to our 5th quarterfinal here, which will be Ann Miller, Ava Schiefert, Mira Thompson, Ainsley Casper, Fabia Emblem, and Madison Larder. Oh, and it does appear that they have gone, so we have picked up the start camera again, but unfortunately didn't catch them right away. Still, though, as you can see, they are moving into an absolute whiteout. We are trying to reposition the camera here, catch all of the action as possible. So apologies for any of the technical difficulties today. I assure you we are doing our absolute best out there. Again, really sad and bummed to hear that we've lost another event here at the USCSA Nationals, but can't thank everybody enough for doing as much as possible to get these events running. You can see the flags, the fencing, all of these things that they've done to really make sure that this is the best situation possible for the athletes. It's obviously Mammoth is not stoked to have it either. They would rather see us compete, but it is what it is. Mother Nature gives us what she gives, and we roll with it, and these athletes have done a great job today. So again, we ran quarterfinal number 5, and we will look toward quarterfinal number 1 now for the men next. Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Graydon Walker, James Roloff, and Timothy Ziegler. And then finally in the 6th position there, Connor Roberts. Quarterfinal number 2 for the men will be Kaj Taylor, Tyler Hipchin, Felix Terracina, Kai Richter, Sean Meeker, and Matthew Berg. So those will be our first 2 quarterfinals for the men. So again, we're waiting on quarterfinal number 5. We're doing our best to get some shots here. As soon as we have them coming through the finish line, we will do our best to get you that angle as well. Again, just looking at the conditions right now, waiting for athletes, trying to recenter some of our cameras and get some technical difficulties out of the way.
Disco will never be gone. It will live in our minds and in our hearts. Something like this, something that is so...
Again, trying to pick up as much camera here as we can. Apologize for any confusion and any difficulties here. We are absolutely doing our best. We are currently trying to get our finish camera to look at the finish area and try to pick up as many women as possible here coming through.
It'll be misrepresented and caricatured.
And there is our finish camera, I believe.
But we have nothing to do with any of those things, and we still love the disco. And those people that don't
and you can see some of the athletes unable to get bib numbers at this time, but you can see that they are coming through, and we will pick them up as soon as possible here. You can see them climb into the woods, and they will come back out and around. And we will give you up-to-date information with who's in the lead and who's in second and third and so on and so forth. Again, we will move forward toward our quarterfinals for the men. Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Graydon Walker, James Roloff, Timothy Ziegler, Connor Roberts will be our first men's heat of the day. Of course, first quarterfinal of the day, excuse me.
Real disco.
Again, just waiting now for athletes to come through toward the finish. We're able to pick them up just a little bit as they made the turn, and it does look like now they're starting to come through the trees. So we will finally get our first look at who's in the lead here. That is bib 3 with the Wyoming flag flying in front. That would be Ann Miller out of the University of Wyoming taking the lead for this first quarterfinal heat for her. And then it looks like right behind her is bib 13. Again, the Wyoming flag there kind of blocking our view, but bib 13 is Mira Thompson. Bib number 8 now coming in. That is Ava Schiefert there. And then bib 18 and 28, I believe, right behind her, which would be Ainsley Casper and Madison Larder. And then finishing there in the 6th spot would be Fabia Emblem out of Cornell University. So that will conclude all of our women's quarterfinal heats, and we will now switch forward and go toward the men's. It does look like we're still having some issues with our start camera. Checking in with my lovely assistant here to make sure that is still the case. It is still the case, so we will do our absolute best to pick that up for you as soon as possible. Remember, quarterfinal number 1 is Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Graydon. Oh, and they've gone, actually. Oh, we picked it back up, and right as they are skating away from me. So bib 1 was Andrew Siegel, the Gould Academy product, now skiing for Wyoming. My good buddy Andrew there. Gus Whitcomb in bib number 10, Graydon Walker in bib 11, 20 is James Roloff, and 21 is Timothy Ziegler. Connor Roberts finishes this heat with bib number 30. So again, as soon as we can find them, we will show you who's in the lead. But again, they kind of disappear into the abyss. For quarterfinal number 2 for the men, we have Kaj Taylor, Tyler Hipchen, Felix Terracina, Kai Richter, Sean Meeker, and Matthew Berg. Quarterfinal number 3 will have Aiden Rip, Luke McKinnon, Connor Preston, Matthew Joseph Williams, Philip Matthews, and Noah Payne. So that'll be quarterfinal number 3. And then 4 has Albert Hesse, Emil Graf, Ethan Hobbs, Rylan Hodgson, Tate Myers, and Joey Rohana. Again, Mammoth, California here, the site of our 2023 National Championships. A beautiful place, absolutely gorgeous, amazing skiing when you can see and when you can ski it, which unfortunately today has not been easy to do. We are pushing through no matter what, though. We are determined to finish this sprint event for the men and the women. Again, if you are just joining us, you are looking at the live stream, you know that this is not a camera issue. This is a weather issue. This is the best we can do. That does, though, look like bib number 1. That is Andrew Siegel. My boy Druzy there in top spot. Number 11 is Graydon Walker, and it looked like Gus Whitcomb right behind him in bib 10. That is bib 30, Connor Roberts, who's jumped ahead a little bit, and 21 there, Timothy Ziegler, coming in toward the end there. Still time for them to catch up, though. That was our first look at them. We'll now try to head over to our finish cam and pick them up as they come through. Again, looking at whiteout conditions, so our vision is a little bit skewed, but we're doing our absolute best to get it to you when we can. Again, in this heat was Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Graydon Walker, James Roloff, Timothy Ziegler, and Connor Roberts. We saw Andrew Siegel in the lead there at the beginning, and when we first saw him, and it looks like with the movement happening on the course, possibly athletes are coming through. You can usually tell what's happening by the coach's reaction to things. We'll see if the Wyoming flag flies like it did for the last heat with Ann Miller. Is this Andrew Siegel still in the lead? It does appear to be him. He does a quick check back, realizes he's okay, and moves into cruise mode. I could not quite catch the bib there on either of those athletes, but it did look like we had a second and third place finisher. Again, vision is getting really hard out there, but that looked like bib number 10, which would be Gus Whitcomb. It's either that or Connor Roberts, I believe, bib 30. 21, though, coming in. That is Timothy Ziegler. And then that looks to be bib number 20, so that would be James Roloff. So it was Connor Roberts earlier from Clarkson when I was unsure of the bib number. So again, Andrew Siegel, and I couldn't tell who was second and third there between Gus Whitcomb, I believe, and Graydon Walker, so I apologize for that. It does appear that we may have lost our start camera again for the moment. We are doing our best to get that up to you. Every time, unfortunately, the wind hits, we just continue to lose signal. And you can see our camera operators now are working as hard as possible to keep things as clean and for you as they can. This is about the best they can do with the current conditions. So you can see our camera guy there, Josiah, killing it for us again, but having to wipe his lens to try to keep it as clean as possible. We are still unable to give you the starts at this time, so the quarterfinal number 2 will feature Kaj Taylor, Tyler Hipchin, Felix Teresina, Kai Richter, Sean Meeker, and Matthew Berg. Our quarterfinal number 3 again will have Aiden Ripp, Luke McKinnon, Connor Preston, Matthew Joseph Williams, and Philip Matthews. And then finally, Noah Payne will be the last member of that third quarterfinal heat. Again, we have essentially canceled, unfortunately, all of the other events today. We had to cancel skier cross just recently, and I believe snowboard cross as well with that. So fortunately, those 2 events are no longer running. But again, want to give a huge shout out to every volunteer and everyone who's been putting up flags, USCSA stuff, just painting the lines on any of the courses so that athletes can do their best to compete. Obviously, nobody wants to cancel any events, but it's unfortunate when it happens. We are still trying to get you camera 1, so I apologize. Again, our quarterfinal number 3 for the men will have Aiden Ripp, Luke McKinnon, Connor Preston, Matthew Joseph Williams, Philip Matthews, and Noah Payne. We will then have quarterfinal number 4, which will be Albert Hesse, Emil Graf, Ethan Hobbs, Rylan Hodgson, Tate Myers, and Joey Ruhana. And then finally in quarterfinal number 5, Matthew Hemp, Eric D. Folco, Connor Nielsen, Cameron Bancroft, Jameson Peacock, and AJ Mahala. I've also just been given an update for the women's semifinal sprints, so I'll do a quick run through of who qualified for semifinals now for the women. Lily Hubanks, Claudia Burgess, Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Ayla Bodak-Turner, Hannah Kreider are in the first semifinal, scheduled for about 12:50, maybe a little bit behind. And the second semifinal is Katie Milligan-Susong, Michaela Sheet, Jesse Church, Ann Miller, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews. Okay, so we will expect all of those in the semifinals starting around 12:50 today. Again, it does look like we might have our camera 1 back. I don't know if we've missed now one of the starts. I probably have, but I believe quarterfinal number 3 is probably left at this point or is about to leave. We will try to pick that up for you as soon as possible here. Again, you can see volunteers fluffing V-boards. They've buried themselves in the amount of time we've spent just at finals here. We have about 5 inches have already fallen. And we actually have competitors now, so Congratulations. There are 4 of them actually competing with each other right now. Let me try to get bib numbers for you as they come through. Bib number 4. That's bib 7 apparently. Bib 14. 17. I'm being corrected left and right. So it appears we're in quarterfinal number 2. Excuse me, we're in quarterfinal number 2. So bib 4 was Kaj Taylor. Bib 17 was Kai Richter. Bib 14 was Felix Tarasenka. Bib 7 was Tyler Hipchin, and bib 27 was Matthew Berg, with bib 24 being Sean Meeker. So I apologize for that. We were in the wrong quarterfinal. We weren't sure which ones had gone, but all good. So we will pick quarterfinal number 2 up as soon as possible here in the finish line. That was a tight quarterfinal. So we will try to catch them as soon as possible. Again, we are doing our absolute best with the current conditions to get both cameras up and working. We had no issues for the qualifications earlier today, but unfortunately now the weather is starting to change. Again, about 5 total inches have already accumulated. Today was supposed to be the quiet day, so as you can tell, things are not going as smoothly as anyone had hoped, but we are racing and doing our best. That is bib number 4. That is Kaj Taylor in the lead, and I believe bib number 7 is right behind him. That's Tyler Hipchin. And then finishing behind them, I believe, was bib 17 or bib 14, which was either Felix Tarasenka or Kai Richter. That is bib 14. That's Felix Tarasenka. So Kai Richter was bib 17. And then I saw 27 there, and I believe maybe 24, which would have been Matthew Berg at 27 and Sean Meeker with bib 24. A highly contested quarterfinal number 2 there. Again, that heat was scheduled for 12:30, so we're running about 3 or 4 minutes behind here. Not terrible. Our next heat is quarterfinal number 3, which will have Aiden Ripp, Luke McKinnon, Connor Preston, Matthew Joseph Williams, Philip Matthews, and Noah Payne. And unfortunately, it appears we have once again possibly lost camera 1 at the moment. I promise you we are doing our absolute best to get it running. We have multiple staff members at this point on the scene doing everything they can think of to get it up and running. The conditions are not making that very fun for any of them, so we appreciate your patience. Once again, I want to give a shout out to both of the sponsors of USCSA National Championships here for 2023. We have both the Icon Pass. If you have the Icon Pass, you know how amazing it is. My home mountain, Sunday River, Maine, is actually an Icon member, so if you want to come up and ski the East with me one day, you can. And then, of course, we have Bora, which is our second sponsor. They are one of the finest producers of both Nordic and Alpine, like speed suits or race suits. They make custom ones for teams. They are amazing to work with. They have incredible products. I've seen them firsthand at Gould Academy where I work. We have some amazing, cool gear from them. Again, we are currently looking at heat number 3, our quarterfinal number 3 for the men. We are doing our best to get our cameras up and running. We're having to do some reshuffling around to try to get as much product out to you as possible. I'm currently in the booth with many volunteers working on their absolute best to get as many camera shots and angles for you. We're actually going to put one out the window, it seems now, to try to get you another angle of the event. And they're running it right behind my back. So again, we will do our best to give you some visuals on what's going on. As you can see, we're trying to keep our camera lenses as clean as possible. There is a scene of the event from our timing shack. I am obviously using a computer screen to look at it, but here's what you're looking at if you are currently at Mammoth Mountain, California with us. So again, thank you to the volunteers holding that out the window so you all can have a shot of something new and unique instead of just the finish camera there. But again, quarterfinal number 3 will be Aiden Ripp, Luke McKinnon, Connor Preston, Matthew Joseph Williams, Philip Matthews, and Noah Payne. I'm unsure if they left or not yet because I still don't have feed from my camera 1. Although it does look like it's up and running now. So we will hopefully catch them as they come back around. Quarterfinal number 4 again is Albert Hesse, Emil Graf, Ethan Hobbs, Ryland Hodgson, Tate Myers, and Joey Rahana. And we do have a feed now from the start. So this is, I believe, heat number 3 coming down. I will do my best to get some bib numbers for you. Again, they're in those tuck skate positions, but that looks like bib 5. That'd be Aiden Ripp. Bib 6 right behind him, 25, 16, 15, and finishing out there 26. So bib 5 is Aiden Ripp. Bib 6, Luke McKinnon. Bib 15, Connor Preston. Bib 16, Matthew Joseph Williams. Bib 25, Philip Matthews. And bib 26, Noah Payne. Look at the speed of that coach from our finish cam, though. Holy, he is flying. Not sure if one of his athletes may have busted a pole. That does happen and can happen in a mass start. So again, we are working with the best we can here. We're trying to configure another camera too to get you some more angles. Doing our best. We'll wait for them now as they come through. But Mammoth Mountain, California, that photo that you see on your screen right now is essentially what it looks like. It is a blizzard. It is deep. The powder is amazing. And it is that beautiful here, at least when you can see the sun, which has been the last 2 days for us. Okay, we are now getting finishers. So that is bib 5. That's Aiden Rip. Right behind him, bib 25 possibly. That's Philip Matthews making a huge push. I believe I saw Luke McKinnon's bib number 6 right behind that. Bib 15, Connor Preston now coming through. And then this is bib number 16, I believe, or 15. So it's either Connor Preston or Matthew Joseph Williams. And then I see bib 26 now, Noah Payne, finishing out there into the finish corral. So again, that was quarterfinal number 3. We have 2 more quarterfinals to go through for the men. So we have Albert Hesse, Emil Graf, Ethan Hobbs, Rylan Hodgson, Tate Myers, and Joey Ruhana for our quarterfinal number 4. And then Matthew Hemp, Eric DeFolco, Connor Nielsen, Cameron Bancroft, Jamison Peacock, and AJ Mahala as our 5th and final quarterfinal for the men. Again, not to skip ahead too far, but we do have some updated results for the women. So we will have 2 semifinal heats for the women. And we have lost camera 1 again, so again, we apologize. We are doing our absolute best. But our semifinals for the women are going to be Lily Hughbanks, Claudia Burgess, Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Ayla Bodak-Turner, and Hannah Kreider. And our second semifinal for the women will be Katie Milligan, Susong, Michaela Scheidt, Jesse Church, Annan Miller, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews. So again, we will expect those women to start maybe, well, we're a little bit behind now. We're expecting 12:50, so probably more along the lines of about 1 o'clock. We will see them take off. Hopefully, if we can get camera 1 operating for you. But again, looking at those USCSA banners in our web feed right now, you can see the gusts we are dealing with. Oh, and we do have visual now on the start. I am trying to figure out which bibs those are as best I can. They are moving into the clouds, but I do believe that was quarterfinal number 4, which would have been Albert Hesse, Emil Graf, Ethan Hobbs, Rylan Hodgson, Tate Myers, and Joey Rahuna. So we can expect them hopefully coming back down through here shortly. Again, we are looking at about 3.5 minute times, actually faster for the men. They actually skied at about 2.5 minutes on their qualification run. Unfortunately, we've had some major snowfall in that hour that it's been since that time. And we are now dealing with about 5 inches of powder that they are skiing through. So we're seeing some slightly slower times, but not horrible still. Again, looking into whiteout conditions, this is not the camera, this is the actual scene at the mountain currently. And I am staring out the window, and I promise you it's the exact scene I'm looking at. If we cut to our quick webcam here that's placed on the side of our trailer, that is what we are looking at. The start corral, finish corral is right below us, so that black fence is just separating the Alpine venue from the Nordic venue. You can see it's about blown over. I promised it was stationary when we started today. And then our speaker system obviously now on the ground for fear of that falling over as well. And again, here come the wind whips on the USCSA banners, and our cameraman Josiah doing his best to keep the camera as clean as possible. I did see competitors come through the fog there for just a quick second. Weren't able to pick up any bibs there, but it does look like there are a few more now emerging. Again, unable to see really any bib on that, so I'm not 100% sure what we're looking at. But we will do our best when we get the finish corral to update you on their placements. But again, you can just tell how difficult these conditions are for the competitors if we're having trouble calling their numbers as well. We'll have 2 semifinal heats for the men as well, and then we'll have a final, an A final and a B final. The B final obviously for positions past 6, and then the A final for positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are now seeing one more competitor come through here. I think I can get a bib on this one, maybe 29, which would be Joey Rahuna from Clarkson. And then we are starting to see our first finisher, I believe, for this heat number 4. That is bib 2. For sure, that's Albert Hesse. Definitely looks like he's skiing through some major powder at this point. Incredible determination. He did realize, I think, that he was very far out in front. He decided to tone it down a bit, but we're going to have a photo finish here, I believe, for second place. This is 12 and I believe 9, which is Emil Graf and Ethan Hobbs. And then bib 22 right behind them, Tate Myers. And then that was bib 5. That might have been bib 19, which would be Rylan Hodgson. Again, doing our best to try to pick up bib numbers as fast as possible. And you can see the fatigue the athletes are coming in with. This is not a long course for them. These are all highly trained athletes. 1.5K is usually not something that they struggle with, but the conditions and the speed they're having to race it at are making it so their fatigue is high. And this is something that the top competitors are going to have to deal with as they continue to ski more and more heats. There are still 2 more heats at least if you want to take one of the top spots here. So 2 more 1.5K races. They did a qualifier this morning. So a total of 4 races for the top podium spots here. That is bib 29, and that would be Joey Rahuna now from Clarkson finishing his race. Again, you can see the exhaustion just from skiing through all of this powder. Congratulations to everyone that is able to finish today. And it looks like once again we may have lost the start camera, so again, apologies for that. But you can see here from the corral all the volunteers, all the cameramen, all the timing crew. I want to thank, big shout out to Underdog Race Timing. That'd be Bob Underwood, my Bob Cyclone joke. He's usually able to join me here in the booth and give me some color commentary, but he's down at the course making sure that everyone gets appropriate times. So I can't thank Bob enough for all the work he's doing, plus his staff. Obviously, again, big shout out to any USCSA volunteers and all of the full-time staff members that they employ. Again, you can see their banner there, but you should check them out. They're an amazing organization. And then once again, I want to thank Mammoth Mountain for hosting us. We were hoping to come here a few years ago until the pandemic hit, but we're excited to be here now. Obviously, in their record snowfall year, and we just happen to hit one of the weeks where it hasn't stopped snowing. But we are doing our best to get as much footage to you as possible from these sprint finals here, our quarterfinals, our semifinals, and our A and B final. We promise to get you as much camera footage as possible. We're still waiting on some updates from that one. Again, unfortunately today we were the only event that was able to run. We're doing our absolute best to run it as fluidly as possible, but there are some hiccups along the way, as you understand. We will continue to update you when we have footage of any athlete coming either through a finish line or at a start line. We know that quarterfinal number 4 just went though, so quarterfinal number 5, Matthew Hempe, Eric DeFolco, Connor Nielsen, Cameron Bancroft, Jamison Peacock, and AJ Mahala will be going shortly here. Once they go, we will update you. Again, looking at just athletes, competitors, people in the corral, you can see what everyone's dealing with. There's only currently one lift, I believe, running at Mammoth, California today. It is the lift we are at, lift 4. So if you've skied Mammoth, California before and you understand what I'm talking about, we are at lift 4 at the bottom. And we are trying our best to run an event. I currently see a gentleman with so much snow in his beard that I actually thought that was his beard for a moment. Yeah, maybe we can get a shot of him. Yeah, there he is. That's the gentleman I was talking about. He's snowed in, as I like to call him. Unfortunate, I believe he was probably up at the skier snowboard cross races and has just come down off the hill. We unfortunately had to cancel that. Oh, and we do have competitors back on the start camera. So that would be heat 5. I am only going to be able to pick up the last bib here, which looks like bib 13. That'd be Connor Nielsen. And then we are now seeing them skiing across. You can see there's a small gap now between each of them, so they're going to have to fight if you want one of those top spots. And now we're just waiting to see how they come and stack up. Again, we missed them coming through the start there, and we missed most of it coming through the checkpoint, but we will try to grab them at the finish line here. So this is quarterfinal number 5, the final quarterfinal for the men, and we will then switch back over to the women's semifinals. We are not going to stop the broadcast. We are just going to keep broadcasting straight through until we have a final for each men and women. And we will do that as quick as possible here as we continue to deal with tough conditions. I can see that bib. That is bib number 8, Eric DeFalco, coming through here with the line with a top place finish in his 5th quarterfinal. Bib number 3 was right behind him. That's Matthew Hemp, understanding the situation, knowing he doesn't need to push much harder. But a photo finish here, bib 28, bib 23, bib 18, and I couldn't see the final bib. I believe that's 13 for Connor Nielsen. A very tight heat there for the 3rd place spot. Amazing, amazing quarterfinal for the men there. That was quarterfinal number 5. So those will determine our semifinal results, and I will get those to you as soon as I have them. But as we look forward now, we're doing semifinals number 1 for the women. That's Lily Hubanks, Claudia Burgess, Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Ayla Bodak-Turner, and Hannah Kreider. So those are bibs 1, 10, 4, 7, 5, and 16. And we once again will do our best to get you the start as soon as we can, and we can get a camera operating for that. Again, that's our web camera view. You can see the wires running, the fence. You can just see, I mean, we haven't moved that. That is as blurry as it is because of what we're dealing with. And there's the finish corral obviously on your screen once again. So looking at some of the finishers from that final men's race. And again, I'll do our second semifinal for the women so you know who you can see in that one. Katie Milligan Susong, Michaela Scheidt, Jesse Church, Ann Miller, Mira Thompson, Chrisana Andrews will be your 6 competitors in that event. So going to expect to see them at the start line hopefully, but we do not have the camera currently working down there, so we will continue to just check back in with you when we can. Again, we are expecting to start our women's semifinals. We're about 12:50, so we're maybe just a few minutes behind. Again, understandable due to the weather conditions. Again, looking for that first camera for you as quick as we possibly can, but we are currently having about as many technical difficulties with that camera as you can have. I promise we have the full support staff available because every other event today has been canceled. So we are the only show going, and we are doing our best to get it to you as well. Unfortunately, had to cancel the Alpine event today. The skier and snowboard cross was also canceled later in the day. The slopestyle event, unfortunately, never got up off the ground. I am looking out a window at the slopestyle course, and I can promise you that that would have been a very rough environment for many of the competitors today. Actually, in my booth now is our head commentator. Does he have anything he wants to add?
Well, we just kicked off and finished quite quickly all of the seating for the skier cross and border cross. Unfortunately, just due to weather and the amount of snow that has accumulated, we are not running 4 wide for our brackets. So unfortunately, just due to safety concerns, we are going to go ahead and cancel that. So it's unfortunate, but understandable. If you were here in Mammoth, you would look and see there's so much snow. It's just a wall of snow, zero visibility. So probably in the event of keeping things safe for our competitors, we decided to do that. So it's unfortunate, but hey, we had a good time in the qualification rounds. Saw a lot of fast times, a lot of really fast skiers came down the course, and unfortunately we weren't able to get it off the ground. But you know what? We're crossing our fingers, hoping for tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful day tomorrow. We can do our slope style, we can do our border cross, and that is what we're hoping for. But again, everyone, please cross your fingers and pray. I'm going to hand this back to your man of the hour, the man with the voice, the man that likes to I don't know what you like to do. Announced the heck out of cross-country skiing. Gonna hand it back to our boy Trent Slider. Here you go, bud.
All right, thank you again. That was Beeve on the microphone, our head announcer for slopestyle, and he also went up and did snowboard skier cross. He killed it up there. I could hear them for a while when we were in a break. But again, we are at this point just waiting. We do look like we have both cameras going now, so we will be waiting to see who we can see through the fog here, and we will give you as much information as possible as to how the race is going. And I will give you updated bibs and things like that for the men's as soon as possible, so we'll have semifinals for them locked in when I get that information. Again, just staring into the abyss at this point, doing our absolute best to try to pick through the crowd and find some competitors. I do believe that looks like a coach running and not an athlete skiing. Oh, but here comes some athletes skiing. So again, this should be our women's semifinal, although it just went to complete whiteout, so hard to tell. Okay, we're starting to focus back in. They are grouped up, and they do look a little fatigued. Bib 1 I am seeing. Bib 4 I am seeing. That is Lily Hubanks and Samantha Vauthier in the first and second position. Hard to tell what bib. That looks like bib 5 and bib 7, followed by bib 10. That would be bib 5, Ayla Bodak Turner. Bib 7, Lucia Weiland. And bib 10, Claudia Burgess. If I missed one there, that is bib 16, I believe. That's Hannah Kreider. So again, we saw some skiers there. We picked back up our start camera for a few seconds there. Unfortunately, it does look like it's gone back down at the moment. Again, having a really hard time shooting to this one spot for some reason. I promise we have every staff available, but we will get you the finish for this semifinal number 1, as we still have our finish camera intact at this point. All right, again, just waiting for these athletes now to come through the snow. We saw skiers like Lily Hubanks, Claudia Burgess, Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Ayla Bodak Turner, and Hannah Kreider in bibs 1, 10, 4, 7, 5, and 16 respectively. And here we go. First finishers of our semifinal. That is bib 1. That would be Lily Hubanks, who's been in the lead pretty much all day. Bib 5 right behind her. It looks like bib 4 and bib 10 now fighting for third spot. Bib 5, that would be Ayla Bodak Turner, and then bibs 4 was Samantha Vauthier, and bib 10, Claudia Burgess. That is bib 7 now coming through. That's Lucia Weiland. Again, skiing through up to 5 inches of fresh snow today. Not a joke. Literally happening as we speak. Bib 16 now, I believe, rounding out the heat. That was Hannah Kreider. And so again, that was our finish. That was semifinal number 1. It does not look like we have the start camera going at this point, so we will continue to try to get that up and running again. Unfortunately, the weather is providing us no breaks, and so we are really unable to get it back up and running as quickly as possible. Again, you're looking at a live feed from our camera now just outside of our event shack here, our broadcast booth. Actually, one of the nicest trailers I've ever been in. I mean, this thing is amazing, but definitely not ideal for broadcasting a Nordic event, but we are doing our best with it, and you can see, again, what we're working with for vision and for what we're trying to get. So let me again give you what semifinal number 2 will feature. I will try to get you the men's as soon as possible, but Katie Milligan, Sue Song, Michaela Sheet, Jesse Church, Ann Miller, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews in bibs 2, 9, 6, 3, 13, and 12 will be in the semifinal number 2. And I will try to get men's to you as soon as possible, as we will be running those semifinals as well. Again, we tried to kick off the men's about 1 o'clock. We're a little behind schedule. We're now, it does look like we may have picked up camera 1 again. That is camera 1 that you are seeing on your screen if you're following through with us. That is our start camera. Unfortunately, if you are watching it, you are unable to see that there is a start because it is absolutely whited out. I cannot even see the start from my window at this point in time. But there you go. You can now see some of the V-boards, so you understand sort of maybe where you are. They start on the right side of the V-boards on your screen and will come down on the left. Again, this is Mammoth Mountain, California. If you like snow, I recommend coming here because they seem to have a lot of it. Although getting to the mountain itself can be tricky from Bishop, I highly recommend you come check it out. They have been awesome guests to us. The production crew has been staying at the Mammoth Mountain Inn. Amazing facilities, a nice hot tub that we've taken advantage of multiple times. The head honcho here, Boss Hog, the Alpine Guru, is a big fan of that hot tub, so you may catch him out there if you ever join us for one of the tub sessions. But we like to really relax the day away. Any stress, any complications we had from any of the broadcasts, we go to that hot tub and everything just seems to be okay again. Again, 2023 USCSA National Championships, Mammoth Mountain, California. I believe the racers are on course at this point, so we are just waiting to try to pick them up. Again, we are currently in our semifinals for the women, and I am unsure at this point who are in the men's semifinals. Still waiting for our timing services to get me those information, but Underdog Race Timing doing a wonderful job as always in timing and making sure everyone's where they're supposed to be. All right, does look like we have some competitors here. That looks like bib number 3. I'll get you bib number 3. That would be Ann Miller. I saw bib 9, bib 6, bib 13, bib 2, and bib 12, it looks like. So, bib 2, Katie Milong-Susong. Bib 9, Michaela Sheet. Bib 6, Jesse Church. Bib 3, Ann Miller. Bib 13, Mira Thompson. And bib 12, Chrisana Andrews. So again, those were our competitors. I will do my best when they come through this finish line to get you a feed. Looks like we may have just lost. We just lost both cameras, unfortunately. So you are now just going to listen to my voice and look at that shot of our outside of our window. Again, having some serious technical difficulties here. The wind is not helping, and we are having a struggle to get some of our cameras up and running. We're not seeing either camera feed at this point in time. We will do our best to get those to you. Again, we have everybody that we possibly can working on the situation. So, again, I'll just read to you who was in semifinal number 2 for the women, and we will try to get those finals so you can figure out how they finish. But in bib 2 was Katie Milligan-Susong. Bib 9 was Michaela Scheidt. Bib 6 was Jesse Church. Bib 3 was Ann Miller. Bib 13 was Mira Thompson. And bib 12 was Chrisana Andrews. So, again, we didn't see any of them actually finish the race. We are still without either camera at this point in time. Again, everyone that possibly can be working on it is working on it. But it does look like the men's semifinal results are in. And so we do look like the men are starting to line up in the start corral. So let me quickly give you who are in the 2 men's semifinal heats. Number 1, bib 1, Andrew Siegel, my boy out of Gould Academy, Maine, continuing to dominate today with Gus Whitcomb at bib 10, bib 4, Kaj Taylor, bib 7, Tyler Hipchin, bib 5, Aiden Rip from last year's championships, bib 11 is Graydon Walker. And then in semifinal number 2, bib 25, Philip Matthews, bib 2, Albert Hesse, bib 12, Ethan Hobbs, bib 8, Eric DeFolco, bib 3, Matthew Hemp, and bib 6, Luke McKinnon. So those are your 2 semifinal heats for the men here. So again, we are still without either camera. Again, doing our best to try to get those up and running for you, but due to circumstances beyond our control, we're having a little bit of trouble. But those are the 6 athletes competing in semifinal number 1. As I look out my window to my right side, I can see them in the start gate, so I can at least give you a heads up when they have started their run. Again, these are bibs 1, 10, 4, 7, 5, and 11. They are off. They are the first heat of our semifinal men's has gone. So again, bib 1, Andrew Druzy Siegel. Bib 10, Gus Whitcomb. Bib 4, Kaj Taylor. Bib 7, Tyler Hipchin. Bib 5, Aiden Rip. And bib 11, Graydon Walker. So those will be your 6 competitors in this first heat. Still waiting on cameras here. Sorry about that for everybody joining in. Semifinal number 2 will follow this directly. That'll be Philip Matthews, Albert Hesse, Ethan Hobbs, Eric D. Folco, Matthew Hemp, and Luke McKinnon. So we will hopefully have at least one camera up and running for you at that point. I know everyone's out there working on it as hard as possible. Again, we just saw semifinal number 1 go. That was, again, Andrew Siegel, Gus Whitcomb, Kaj Taylor, Tyler Hipchen, Aiden Ripp, and Graydon Walker. And then I will do my best to get you the women's final results as soon as possible. Again, we're going to run 2 different finals today. It'll be an A final and a B final. The B final will actually start. Oh, it does look like we may have the finish camera back up and running. So, okay, we will have some live footage here for you. This, again, will be the first of our men's semifinals. So, amazing job by our camera operators again to get trying to get things back up and running. And it does look like maybe we have a start camera as well now. So 2 in a row now. We are seeing Andrew Siegel, I believe. That is bib 1. Yes, he is bib 1 in the lead here. He is in the cruise skate at the moment with bib 5. Bib 5 being Aiden Ripp right behind him. So those 2 veterans understanding what's necessary. Bibs 4, 10, 7, and 11 right behind him. So 10, Gus Whitcomb, 7, Tyler Hipchen, 11, Graydon Walker, and 10, Gus Whitcomb. Again, looks like we've had some more movement, possibly some more difficult skating, although it looks like maybe Andrew and Aiden are still out in front with decent enough leads, although these boys are not giving up easily. This is for a spot in the A final, remember, so they are going hard. They know they want one of those top 3 positions on the podium. Again, I've challenged Andrew Siegel from my hometown of Bethel, Maine, to win this race. So he knows what's at stake if he doesn't win. Again, we will try to pick them up as soon as possible. They're going to come through these trees. You're going to see them skiing. I do believe that is Andrew Siegel. It does look like him. It is bib number 1. He is followed closely by Aiden Ripp, bib 5. 2 skiers, again, who are veterans at this, who understand what's at stake. They do not need to push themselves now. They need to just qualify and move on to Final A. But here it is, bib 4, bib 10, bib 7 now competing for 3, 4, and 5. And then finally, there is bib, I believe, 11. Let me double check that. I apologize. Yes, bib 11 was Graydon Walker, who came in there toward the end. Bibs 5, 7, and 10, and 4. Or excuse me, bibs 4, 7, and 10 were Kaj Taylor, Tyler Hipchen, and Gus Whitcomb. And that was our first of the men's semifinals. And we do not have the start camera, unfortunately. So our second semifinal will be Philip Matthews, Albert Hesse, Ethan Hobbs, Eric D. Falco, Matthew Hemp, and Luke McKinnon. I can give you an updated report on the women's finals. So for the B final, and remember this is the B final, this will be for positions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, is Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Jesse Church, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews. In our A final, with a chance for one of the top 3 spots, will be Lily Hubanks, Ayla Bodak Turner, Ann Miller, Michaela Scheidt, and Claudia Burgess. And it does look like we still are without the start camera. So again, we will do our best to get you as much as we can from that. We're cleaning off as much as we can on the cameras. Again, we've accumulated about 5 inches of snow since we started this morning, and we got here at about 8:30. So as you can tell, it's snowing very hard, and it is only 1 o'clock now. So within about the last 4 hours, we've accumulated close to 5, maybe 7 inches of snow. The park, which was completely plowed earlier today, is now almost covered again, and because I'm looking at that straight out my front window. I am doing my best to try to give you an update of when they get into the start corral, although I may have missed them. This is, again, the finish camera you're looking at now if you're joining us live on the broadcast. I hear we had about 250 views on our qualification run this morning, and I want to thank each and every one of you personally for tuning in and listening to me talk to you the entire time. Again, it's really about the athletes here, but we try to provide them with the best experience possible, the most legit experience possible, so that they feel truly like this is their national championship. And we can tell that they do because they give it everything they have, as you can see when they're finishing this sprint race. They are all completely exhausted, continuing to push themselves through conditions that they normally would not ski in to compete here and to provide us with an amazing product. Here is some action though. Bib 2 I just saw come through. I am now trying to pick up some of the additional skiers. They are fighting for positioning, checking behind themselves. Bibs 25 and Bib 8 with Bib 3, 12, and possibly 6 there toward the end. Let me give you some names. Let me try to update you. Okay, Bib 25 is Philip Matthews. Bib 2 is Albert Hesse, 12 is Ethan Hobbs. 8 is Eric D. Folco. 3 is Matthew Hempy. And 6 is Luke McKinnon. So as we get a finish camera on these guys, let's find out who will be moving on to A final and who will be in B final. Again, these are our final few races of the day. Once we finish this semifinal, we will have 4 races remaining. A B final for both the men and the women, and an A final for both the men and the women. We will run the women all at once, and then we run the men all at once. So we will know by the end of this race who exactly is our top 3 in each sport. Oh, no, I believe we may have just frozen on our finish camera, so I apologize to anyone watching. We were just about to have finishing of that, and we do not have that, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. We have at this point again lost, I think, both cameras. We do appear to have maybe the start camera working, but again, not looking at any visuals of anyone getting in the line, so I apologize for that. That race did look like it was coming down to the wire, and as you could tell if you were following along, our camera was tracking and unfortunately happened to lose signal right as we were coming to the finish line. So I will just have to update you when I get a report from timing who will be in the A and the B final. But we did see this first semifinal, so we do know a few of the athletes that will be in A final, but along with Andrew Siegel and Aiden Rip there, 2 really big skiers to watch as we move forward. Aiden Rip absolutely crushed it last year at Lake Placid. I remember saying his name multiple times on the broadcast, and obviously someone I grew up with, Andrew Siegel. I've seen him ski since he was a freshman, so I know how strong he is at this. Let me quickly give you an update on our A and B finals for the women again. Our B final, which will be at about 3:15, will consist of Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Jessie Church, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews. And then our A final will consist of Lily Hubanks, Ayla Bodak-Turner, Ann Miller, Michaela Scheidt, and Claudia Burgess. So again, you are currently actually looking at the start corral. So that is nice to see the start camera back online. We are waiting for athletes to get into the gate here. Obviously, a quick turnaround for some of them, making preparations on their skis, trying to get the wax correct. We usually do a wax check, and I usually joke that it's some sort of clister. For those of you that are Nordic skiers and understand that joke, we are doing a skate race. But I do usually like to put in that it's some sort of clister for the wax today when we do our reporting. I believe the wax has probably changed about 3 different times now as the snow has accumulated. So coaches doing their absolute best to get their skis as fast as possible. Again, plowing through powder on a Nordic ski is not something that is very fun to do. And you can see from our start corral the amount of snow they're having to clean off their boots. The bindings don't quite work like alpine bindings. They get really jammed up and you can feel it, and it's very uncomfortable. So again, all of our athletes doing their absolute best to clean out all their gear, try to be as smooth as possible with the skiing so that they have the best performance possible. Again, we unfortunately missed the end of that men's semifinal race. I will get you updates as soon as possible with how that turned out. We are looking forward now to running B and A final for the women. Or no, excuse me. It looks like we'll run the B final for both of the men and the women first. So I apologize for that. I was under the wrong impression here. But we will end with our A finals for both men and women. So the A final for the women is scheduled around 1:35, and the men is about 1:45. So about a 10-minute turnaround there. And our finals for the Bs are scheduled for about 3:15, which is about now, and 3:25. So about a 10-minute break in between. Again, trying to get the athletes to be prepared and ready to go. It does look like we may have both cameras back online, though, so hopefully we can continue that trend and get you both of the final races for both men and women full goes here. So we are now just waiting for women to get into the start. We will check back in with you in a minute here.
DJ's gotta dance more, so you know what it feels like on the dance floor. You gotta get out there, dance with your people. You gotta catch the vibe. You gotta feel the funk and create your own style. You know why? It's for that good old house music. You gotta feel the funk and create your own style. You know why? It's for that good old house music. You gotta do your own thing and create your own style. You know why? It's for that good old house music. You gotta feel the funk and create your own style. You know why? It's for that good old house music. Wasn't easy at first. My mom used to tell me, turn that music down. It's like, nah, ma, this is it. This is gonna get us out of here. This is the vibe. She asked, why you keep on playing the same thing over and over again? I said, ma, I'm fixing it, you know. I'm getting the groove right. It's gotta be funky. You know what I mean?
All right, checking back in really quick here. Apologies for the short break there as we settled ourselves back in and got both cameras running. But I do have some updates on both the A and B final for the men. In the A final, which will kick off about 1:45, we have Andrew Siegel, Aiden Rip, Albert Hesse, Eric DeFolco, and Matthew Hemp. And in the B final, we have Kaj Taylor, Gus Whitcomb, Tyler Hipchin, Luke McKinnon, and Philip Matthews. If you're currently joining us on the live broadcast, you are seeing the B final for the women, which is Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, Jessie Church, Mira Thompson, and Chrisana Andrews. These are the 5 women that will compete for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we will run the men's B final, and then we will run the A for the women and the A for the men. So we are closing in our final 4 races of the day. We've had quite a few technical difficulties with cameras, but we want to say thank you so much to everyone that works on the production crew here that's been out in the blizzard trying to get them running. A big shout out to my man JT. He knows who he is, but he works so hard. His family is operating both cameras today. His son, Josiah, is at the finish, and his wife, Brittany, is at the start. So it's a family affair here for the production crew. They've done an amazing job working through all of the conditions. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to him. He helped us get set this morning too, but we are ready for racing. This is once again the B final for the women, and they are off. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the line here. Remember, team scores still matter, so doing well is not out of the question. You still want to compete as hard as you can. Again, looks like we have 7 and 4 out to an early start there. That would be Samantha Vauthier, and I believe that's Lucia Weiland is bib 7. We will now let them go into the fog, although it has slightly gone down here as we've been waiting for camera 1, so we can actually see some of their skiing up the hill now, as opposed to the 5 about 6 maybe feet in front of us we could see before. So again, shout out to Britt for capturing all the action she can today. And again, you will see them climb. They go into some sort of V1, a lot of maybe V2 for the stronger ones. Although with the amount of snow accumulation now, it's looking like a lot more V1 technique. That's your climbing technique. For those of you that are new to Nordic, for those of you that are more experienced, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. V1 is the fatigue technique, as I like to call it. That or the granny skate, although none of these athletes here need that, not like I do when I ski now. That was a Buzz Bean favorite, the granny skate. I remember it. He's out there now. He was my high school coach. Big shout out to him. A lot of great years with him. Was never a very good skier, but he put up with me anyway. I was really good at face plants, though, so I think that's why he kept me around. Again, as soon as we have footage from the women coming back down, we will get it to you. We are currently, first time in a while, we've operated both cameras, which is an amazing feat for us again. And weather has not been kind. We have done our absolute best. We appreciate your patience at any point in time. So yeah, we are now just waiting for some action to come down. Again, this is our women's B final. We will run both B finals first, and then we'll do both A finals. So again, who you're looking for in this B final: Samantha Vauthier, bib 4; Lucia Weiland, bib 7; Jessie Church, bib 6; bib 13 is Mira Thompson, and bib 12 is Chrisana Andrews. And we are seeing action, our first of them of the afternoon here in the final heats. I'm unsure of the bib numbers as they're all in a tuck, but I do believe that that is bib 7, right behind our leader there. Unsure of her bib. Does look like it's bib 4. Again, that's Samantha Vauthier. And then that is Lucia Weiland in bib 7. Right behind them, bib 6, Jessie Church. Bib 12 and bib 13 coming through now on your screen. That is Chrisana Andrews and Mira Thompson. So that is our first checkpoint. We will now try to get you some finish action. Again, racing for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 here at USCSA 2023 National Championships. If you're joining us on the broadcast, you know we've had every technical difficulty available, but you're seeing the athletes compete. You're seeing the coaches cheer on their athletes. There he is. There's my coach, Buzz Bean, walking down the trail. I remember when he did that for me. Here we go. We're coming in 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. He gave me a thumbs up. You know it was true. I never was this high up, though. Again, we are looking for Samantha Vauthier, Lucia Weiland, who were in the first two positions when they first came around that checkpoint. We'll see if they were able to maintain it. Again, 4, 7, 6, 13, and 12. Those are the athletes we're looking for here. Coaches are starting to pile toward that spot. This is going to be an interesting finish here. Remember, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the line. We only ran 5 in the B final. We ran 6 in the other finals. Again, our camera operator, Josiah, doing an excellent job getting as close to the tree as possible to get you the first look at our competitors as they come through. And we see them now. Oh my goodness, it looks like we've had a pass though. I believe that is bib 7 who has taken over. Oh my gosh, it's photo finish now. I'm not sure who's in first. 7, 6, again, you're looking at Lucia Weiland, Samantha Vauthier. Oh, but she's dropped back to third. In second place was bib 6. Hold on, bib 6. That's Jessie Church, who made a huge pass, and then bib 12 and bib 13. So Chrisana Andrews and Mira Thompson there, but we had a pass in the middle. So 7th place, I believe, went to, oh my goodness, that was Jessie Church, I believe, that came in second there for that heat, with Lucia Weiland, bib 7, taking first, and Samantha Vauthier taking third. An incredible feat. Again, only a K&a-half here that they're skiing, so to pass someone when they're ahead of you, you have to put the jets on. And again, you're putting jets on in 5 inches of fresh snow after racing 3 other times today. Oh my goodness, what a race that was at the end. Congratulations to our 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 athletes there, the places-wise. Okay, we will now move on to the men's B final as soon as we have them in the gate. But again, an amazing race there for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 by our ladies. Remember, they're still skiing for team scores. The amount of events this week has already been shortened, so every event counts. Every place you can move up matters. So the harder you can ski, the better off you can do for your team. All right, we will move on, though. B final for men. Again, let me try to pull up those names for you. That'll kick off right about now. That's going to be Kaj Taylor in bib 4, Gus Whitcomb in bib 10, Tyler Hipchen in bib 7, Luke McKinnon in bib 6, and Philip Matthews in bib 25. So those will be our B final for men. Our A final for men, once again, because we missed some of the action there at the end, is going to be Andrew Siegel, Aiden Ripp, Albert Hesse, Eric DeFolco, and Matthew Hemp skiing for positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we will see them around 1:45. We still have the B finals to complete here. And again, our B final for men, which is going to be second, is going to be Kaj Taylor, Gus Whitcomb, Tyler Hipchen, Luke McKinnon and Philip Matthews. And geez, just after one race there, one final heat, I have already gotten the blood flowing again. We were in a little bit of a doldrum there with our technical difficulties. Not sure what was going on, just sitting in front of a computer screen. But now I'm juiced up again. I'm ready to go. I have to keep my voice down so I don't scream on the microphone because it'll hurt the broadcasted booth and everyone listening live. But I will do my best. I get excited. Again, we are going to try to pick up the action as soon as you can. I can see officials in the start gate. They are doing their best to get it ready, get it set. Remember, they needed a little more time between the semifinal and the finals, as there were less semifinals. All right, so they have just about 10 minutes in between. We're running right on schedule. Underdog timing. Again, Bob, our great friend Bob, who usually is in here doing color with me, and that's who I keep looking for in here. I keep double checking over to him, and unfortunately he's not here with me this afternoon, but his Underdog Race Timing Series, or his company there, amazing job. They were at Lake Placid with us last year, and you know how seamless that went. And he was able to do some color commentating with me then, and so he runs multiple jobs, whereas I just sit here and talk at you. So again, thank you to Bob for all the timing. His wife is communicating all of the updated brackets to me via text message, so that's where I'm saying I'll pause and wait, but I promise we are getting them as quick as possible. Okay, once again, our start camera working wonderfully once again. Again, thanks to shout out to our camera crew and our producer here, JT, who's in the booth now sitting with me watching the action live. He finally got to get out of the cold. All right, we are waiting on the B final for the men. Again, we are looking at Kaj Taylor, Gus Whitcomb, Tyler Hipchen, Luke McKinnon, and Philip Matthews. These are our 5 competitors competing for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th place today. Remember, limited events in the Nordic means that every position counts when it comes to team scores. Team matters to all of these athletes, I can assure you. You get no bigger cheer than at the awards than when they do the team award at the very end and the team gets to stand on the podium and be celebrated together. For some of these people that are seniors, this may be the last opportunity they have to ski as a team with anyone else, and that is wonderful, and that's what we love about sports is the team, the camaraderie, the competition, but the love and respect that everyone has for each other. So again, we are lining up at the start gate now. Starting to get the goosebumps on me. I know this is just a B, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But man, we are excited to see the boys go here, see what kind of speed they can generate. The wind has kind of calmed down. It's gotten slightly nicer out there. Still snowing pretty hard, as you can tell, but we've lost a lot of the blizzard conditions that were up for us for a while here. So again, looks like they've been given their instructions, keeping their feet moving, keeping their legs moving, approaching the start line now. Here they go. Remember, double pull has to start, and then they will skate away. Wow, quick start there. Looks like some of them may not have been as ready, but doesn't matter. Off to a good start now. It'll be hard to tell who's in the lead, but they will jockey for position, and then we will catch them as they come around the turn. You can see the skis hitting each other, the poles smacking into each other. That's all legal as long as you're not doing it intentionally. But you know what? If no one's looking, everything's legal, right? Just kidding, obviously. But here we go. We're up the hill. Good skiing, all staying as a pack. Remember, anyone that wants to get in front is going to have to brush the snow out of their way. Anyone that stays behind at the beginning here is going to get a smoother track, although you risk not being able to pass later on if you can't find the space to do it. So there is some strategy involved. Some people ski better out front, some are more of finishers and want to stay behind and get some draft. It's all strategy. These guys have thought it over. They're all professionals at this point. Again, we will now wait for them to come back out of the clouds. I've been calling this Coach's Knoll now. There seems to be a lot of coaches standing up there. I'm not 100% sure how far up they go, but I believe they go just above the coaches there. We are literally skiing around the base of a lift, so if you've ever been to Mammoth Mountain, right next to Lift 4 on the skier's left side is a smaller little double lift, I believe, and we are skiing legitimately around the base of that. So if this looks familiar to you, if you're a Mammoth Mountain, California veteran, you understand exactly where we are and why these skiers are skiing alpine terrain, but uphill on their Nordic skis. So again, we keep getting the fog keeps rolling in right as we need to see bibs, which is fine, but we are seeing athletes now emerge. Okay, I will do my best to give you bib numbers as they come into a tuck and hide their bibs from me. Pretty rude, but whatever. All right, it looks like bib 7, though. Tyler Hipchin is in the lead to start. Right behind him was bib number 10. That's Gus Whitcomb. A little bit of distance from bib 3 here, which is bib number 4, I believe. That's Kaj Taylor. And then he seems to have distanced himself slightly from the next two, which I believe was bib 6 and bib 25. Yes, that was Luke McKinnon and Philip Matthews. But again, good, strong skiing there from, I believe it was bib 7, which was Tyler Hipchin, who was in the lead. Yes, I'm getting confirmation here from JT, so he's doing an excellent job of my color commentator without the commentary. As he knows, I've been reading numbers all day, and my brain is starting to go to mush, but we are doing our best. Coaches are screaming down here. Look at them crossing, holding poles in their hand, waiting for an accident to happen to help their athlete out. Remember, in Nordic, if you break a ski or a pole, you can actually replace it. That is not illegal, but you want to be fast. So coaches and teammates practice sometimes throwing poles at each other so they can have the quickest transitions. But, oh, my goodness, look who has distanced himself even further. That is bib 7. He understands he needs to skate clean, skate hard into the finish line. That's bib 7. He's got some distance on bib number 10. So, again, bib 7. That is Tyler Hipchin. And bib 10, that is Gus Whitcomb. Followed closely, bib 4. That is Kaj Taylor. And right behind him now, pushing him for the third final spot, is bib 6. That's Luke McKinnon. I don't know if he got him. It was close at the end there. Our camera is positioned right at the absolute end, so that was close. Philip Matthews now, number 25, is coming in to finish his race. He will finish in 10th position. Again, a top 10 finish here at USCSA Nationals, And you can see the athletes lying on the ground in exhaustion. 4 races done today. Again, qualifications done slightly earlier, but these last 3 heats, quarters, semis, and now finals, have taken place in the span of, for them, in about 30 minutes, which means they have skied as hard as they can, 1.5K in about 30 minutes, 3 separate times, each time with more snow on the ground to fight through, each time with faster racers they're competing against. This is an absolute showdown now as we move into our A finals. Again, we are now going to move to our A finals. We're looking at our start camera. It looks like they haven't started lining up quite yet, which is fine. We're going to be moving there shortly. They're all going to be coming into the start gate. Let me give you quickly the A skiers to look out for. She's dominated all day, so we're looking for bib number 1. That's Lily Hubanks. In bib 5, Ayla Bodak-Turner. In bib 3, Ann Miller. In bib 9, Michaela Scheidt. And in bib 10, Claudia Burgess. So those will be your 5 skiers for the women's A final, which should kick off in about a minute to 2 minutes here. Again, so we are looking at our final 2 races of the day. For those of you that have joined us for the entire thing, a longer day, but an amazing day of racing and skiing. We are so proud and so happy for all these athletes. They've put the absolute most into this, and now we are finally getting ready to crown our champions today. If one more technical difficulty thing wasn't enough, it looks like we have lost the music for now. It may come back. It looks like it may be buffering. It also was running off a hotspot, so that was also a technical difficulty we were working with. So I apologize for the lack of music in these final minutes here. You get to just enjoy my voice. Everyone's so sick of it by now, but we're doing our best, I can assure you. We are trying to get the music to buffer here and run on time. Again, our A final for the women, we're going to kick that off here very shortly. It was scheduled for 1:35. It is 1:35 now on my watch, but we are just a couple minutes behind. Lily Hubanks, Ayla Bodak-Turner, Ann Miller, Michaela Scheidt, and Claudia Burgess are going to be our competitors for today in the A final for the women. And let's go to the B final, or the A final for the men for a second so we can know who we're going to see there. Andrew Siegel. Again, I've challenged him to win today. It was a personal challenge I issued him. I play no favorites, but I did challenge him to win. Aiden Ripp, who absolutely killed it last year at Mount Van Hovenberg with us. Albert Hesse, another big name in the sport here. Eric DeFolco and Matthew Hemp will round out the final 5 skiers for the men's A final, but it does look like we're now getting some traction in the start gate. I see a green vest with the TD written right on it, so I know that we're about to get going here. That's always an important person that you want to see. Again, apologies for the music. I know we're right at the finals, of course, and now it's cutting out, but we're doing our best to get it up and running once again for you. Again, it'll come on as soon as it can, I promise. But again, we are looking now for our final race of the day for the women, and then we will move on to our final race of the day for the men. '23 USCSA National Championships here. Mammoth Mountain, California. Couldn't have been a better location to do it. They've just received too much snow, that's all. But, you know, in the ski world, it's usually not enough snow that you deal with. So to deal with too much, that's just one of those anomalies, and you just live through that. This will be a story we tell in 10 years from now when we're doing USCSA's back at Mammoth Mountain, California. And we'll be talking about that one year, 2023, when we got too much snow and couldn't run any of the races we wanted to run. Again, we will kick off these final two competitions here. Again, wind still continues to howl. We are going to do the pickup after this race, obviously, and it's going to be one of those fun things that we all have to do together, speed the process up. But we are getting ready now. It looks like the women are actually in the start gate. They've all started to move around, shake the hands out, shake the arms out, try to keep that lactic acid from building up. That's a big thing here with these endurance athletes. You got to keep the body ready to move, because when you stiffen up is when you slow up, and that's not what they need to do at this point. We are looking for speed. All right, looks like we have a couple skiers now starting to make their way into the start gate. So again, let's just run through who those are really quick. I can see bib 5 and I can see bib 1. Bib 5, Ayla Bodak Turner out of University, Maine, Farmington. So right near my hometown of Sugarloaf, Maine, and I grew up in Kingfield. So big shout out to UMF there. Lily Hughbanks is bib 1. She's been crushing it all day. I don't think she's finished any race so far in second place. She's been in first every single time. Got a lot of movement going on. I see bib 10 as well now lined up. That's Claudia Burgess. And then obviously the final two there are bib 3, Ann Miller, and bib 9, Michaela Schmidt. Again, it looks like they're getting their instructions by the technical delegate here. So as soon as he's finished, we will kick this off. Again, this is for first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is for a spot on the podium. One of those really cool awards that Boss Hogg always hands out at the award ceremonies. So remember, if you're a big fan of Boss Hogg, this is your chance to meet the man himself. Just get on the podium. He will personally hand you an award. Again, 2023 National Championships, Mammoth Mountain. As we approach the finals, I want a big thank you to the USCSA volunteers and the staff members, to the sponsors of this event, the Icon Pass, and to Bora Race Gear. Again, excellent speed suits. I can't tell who's wearing them, but I know the ones that are, because they are probably the nicest speed suits we've seen, especially Nordic and Alpine-wise. So, again, big shout-out to those two sponsors. An amazing product. Really, really can't thank them enough for being sponsors this year, supporting these young athletes, and making this what it is. So, again, top position on the line here, number 1 overall spot. If you thought I was yelling before, just get ready for the finish line here. But we are ready to kick this off. The women are in the start, and they have begun. Okay, remember, double pole start, and then they will go into the skate. It's important to start strong. Get a good double pole start for yourself so that you can rip into the skate as quickly as possible. It looks like bib 10, and it looked like bib maybe 5 there got really good jumps, but as you can see, bib number 1, that's Lily Hughbanks, blurring out into your screen. She's got an amazingly strong V2 going there. Look at the tempo. Look at the speed. She is climbing a hill with that technique. That is really hard to do. You have to be incredibly strong, and your timing has to be perfect. And she is crushing it. Now, we will hopefully grab them as they come back around for their checkpoint lap, and then we will pick them up into the finish line. Again, can't thank everyone enough for being here today. What an incredible, incredible experience. I mean, again, I've sat in a warm trailer, but for everybody out there braving the elements, I am speechless about how you do it and how you complain so little. So I want to, again, just a big shout out, big, huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. Again, USCSA Nationals. We brought a whole production crew. Unfortunately, a lot of the events today were canceled for the other members, but I hear they're back at the house listening to me now. Hope I haven't screwed it up too much, but I appreciate all their support. Again, we will wait for these athletes. This is for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We saw Lily Hubanks. She's been in the lead all day, one to watch out for. And then obviously from my hometown there was Ayla Bodak-Turner, skiing very strong from UMF. And then obviously right behind them, Ann Miller, Michaela Scheidt, and Claudia Burgess. All names to look out for. Again, these are the top 5 skiers. There's no slouch in this group. Anyone could win this thing. It's all up for grabs. So we're just going to have to wait and see who comes out of the fog here, who comes out of Coach's Knoll in the lead and can try to take that lead up into the woods one final time before making the home stretch. I can see a skier now. Oh my goodness, it looks like they have a massive lead. I can't tell who that is, but I assume it looks like bib number 1. That's Lily Hubanks. Like I said, all day she has continuously crushed this course. Right behind her, though, I believe that's bib 5. Yes, bib 5 is Ayla Bodak-Turner out of UMF. Skiing hard, continues strong. There we go, bib 3 right behind her. Ann Miller, another strong skier from last year. Bib 10, I believe, is Claudia Burgess, which leaves, I believe, bib number 9 as our final competitor you're seeing on your screen now. That's Michaela Scheidt. All right, we are now picking them up. Let's see if Lily, she had a big lead, but let's see if she can keep that up. I mean, again, we have Ayla right on her tail with Ann Miller, an amazingly strong skier. Watched her last year at USCSA Nationals 2022 out at Mount Van Hovenberg. Big shout out to them for an amazing venue that last year. But again, we're happy to be here in Mammoth this year. So let's see who comes through that fog and through that tree. Again, I want to say a big, huge thank you to our camera operators today. They've done an amazing job getting us as many shots as possible. It would not, I literally, when I don't have them, I am blind and I am bad. I'm bad at my job, but they do a great job keeping me on my toes and making sure that I'm able to commentate what's happening for you in real time. Okay, again, we're just looking at that tree. Here they come, I believe. Here it is. I still think that's Lily Hubanks. I'm just basing it off the way she's skiing. But that is bib number 1. Right behind her, though, is bib number 5 still. That's Ayla. So Ayla from UMF now coming in, and then I believe that's Ann Miller right behind. So here's your 1, 2, 3 finish. Bib number 1, Lily Hubanks. Bib number 5 is Ayla, and then bib number 3 is Ann Miller coming in, and then in bib 4 or 4th place, that's bib 10 now coming in. Bib 10, Claudia Burgess with the 4th overall spot. So a big finish there. Remember, Lily Hubanks skiing out of St. Olaf, and then Ayla Bodak-Turner skiing out of University of Maine Farmington, with Ann Miller finishing out there for Wyoming. Now we're seeing on our screen bib number 9 coming through. That's Michaela Scheidt coming through. I believe she is in 4th position or 5th position here. So 4th or 5th. Great race for all of these women, obviously, to finish top 5 here at a USCSA national event. That is nothing to snub your nose at. That is an amazing, amazing achievement. Again, big shout out to all the athletes today. For the women, this was an incredible, incredible experience. Lily Hubanks never released that title. She skied that same way all day. She was able to continuously just pound it on that uphill. That V2 we saw at the beginning, continually to crush it. And then she just used her speed after that, her endurance, to stay ahead of the pack. Again, absolutely blown away by all of these women today. But we will now turn our attention toward the men's final. This is the A final. Again, big names in this group. Big, big names. I've got my boy Andrew Siegel, Aiden Rip, who ripped it up last year at USCSA Nationals. He was one to watch out for. I believe he may have even taken the overall title, if I remember correctly. Albert Hesse, again, another one to watch out for in these events. And then his teammate, Eric DeFalco, now coming right behind him with Matthew Hemp, the 5th and final competitor for our men's A final. Again, we are just waiting now for them to get into the start corral. We were hoping to run them, I believe, at 1:45. And it is 1:45 now, so we are minutes away from the final for the men. Again, they're skiing this course in about 3 minutes. It's the fastest 3 minutes in sports, I've been told. 2023 USCSA Nationals. This is the A final, or the big final. All right, and I've just been handed official women's results. So let's check here. We did, in fact, have Lily Hubanks, who skied a 3:45.8. Directly behind her was Ayla Bodak-Turner with a 3:48.0. Ann Miller came in third with a 3:51.4, a 3:53.7 for Claudia Burgess, and Michaela Scheidt finishing in fifth with a 4:17. In 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th place were Lucia Weiland, Jessie Church, Samantha Vauthier, Chrisana Andrews, and Nira Thompson. And then obviously, as soon as this boys race is done, I will get you live finish of their race and then overall results for them as well. As you can see now, if you're joining us on the live camera, if you're there in person, the boys are starting to warm it up. They're starting to chop the legs, doing some high knees, doing some butt kicks, maybe some lateral movements there, you know, flick the feet out. Not sure if that helps at all, but hey, it's all mental at this point. Yep, there we go. They're all warming up. Jackets are still on, so we're still in the warm-up phases. We are hoping and prepping for probably a 3:50-ish start time now. That gives us about 2-ish minutes here. That would seem reasonable. We were about 5 minutes behind our planned schedule. Again, amazing to only be 5 minutes behind our schedule with everything that's been going on today. So again, huge shout out to our Underdog race timing crew, our USCSA volunteers, our USCSA full staff. I'm obviously going to give them some love in the post show, but can't say enough about good things about them. They've listened to me all day. They've dealt with me. They've tried to make everything accommodable for our production staff, and I just can't be more thankful from the bottom of my heart. And I know our whole production crew feels the exact same way. All right, looks like the boys are starting to take their jackets off now. We have clipped into the skis. I believe that is bib number 1, Andrew Siegel, my boy there from Gould Academy, Maine, who is the first to make his way toward the start gate. Andrew is always ready to ski. I will remember that forever. If I could tell a quick story about Andrew, it's that the first day I ever met him, he only said 3 or 4 words to me. He said, "It's a beautiful day to ski." And he said that every time I asked him a question. It was a bluebird day. I believe we were roller skiing, so I'm not even sure what he was talking about. I don't even count that as real skiing. But every time I looked at him and asked him a question, he just said, "It's a beautiful day to ski." And I believe he still feels that same way. There he goes. He points at me. He knows. It's still a beautiful day to ski, Andrew, and today's your day here, buddy. Looks like Aiden Ripp has now joined him in the start gate, gives him a little fist bump. Again, nothing but mutual respect, team camaraderie here for all these competitors. They know what's at stake, but they can still be friendly, and they're still good. They're still friends with each other. They're all just such a family here at Nordic. Almost like a small, cult in a good way, you know? All right, looks like all of our competitors have now taken their place. They're getting their instructions from the TD here. Again, the 4th or 5th time now they've run through these, so they're veterans at this point. Got a lot of older people in the start gate as well, some people that have heard everything they've talked about. Again, a lot of experience on this final track here. Again, they will get their instructions. They'll go over everything they need, and then we'll be on our way. Men's final, A final here, USCSA 2023 National Championships. Mammoth, California. For the crowd there, let's hear a big cheer for all of these competitors. Time to get them riled up and fired up. Everyone that's braved the elements today just to watch and spectate, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone on the broadcast who's watched the webcast today, thank you. They are ready. We will go here now and off to a fast start, double polling, keeping the knees bent, getting into extension now. Looks like Siegel's done a great job with Aiden Ripp of getting out in front. Quick first to skate there with Siegel, goes into a really strong V2 and moves his way in front. Wind whipped up, and I've lost now almost all visual from my camera. Not that they're out, it's just I can't see, but it does still look like Andrew Siegel and Aiden Ripp were in the first 2 spots. So again, they will disappear into the crowd, and then we will pick them up hopefully at our checkpoint, and then we will call the finish for you. Remember, this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've put out a personal challenge to Andrew Siegel to win. Let's see if he can hold himself accountable and do that for me. 2023 National Champions here, Mammoth Mountain, California. The coaches have decided to move in now. They have stood out there all day. They are ready to come home. They are ready to drive back to their hotel rooms, to their apartments, to their lodgings and sit in hopefully a hot tub like we will be doing later today. Remember, when in doubt, hot tub it out. It's my new motto. We are still waiting. We will see the boys come back down the way they started. They will then wrap around the tree like they have done all day and finish through the finish section one final time. Oh my goodness, we have action. We have action in the start line here. Oh my goodness, it looks like that's bib number 2 that has passed bib number 1. So bib number 1, Andrew Siegel, though, drafting off of bib number 2. Bib number 2 is Albert Hesse, who's made a huge jump with Aiden Rip now in 3rd place. I couldn't see the bib there. I believe it was bib number 3, which would be Matthew Hemp, and then I believe that was bib 8, which is Derek DeFalco. We will now wait and see what can happen between these two competitors. You can see them on your screen. Photo finishing, skiing as hard as they can toward the finish line, and then you can see now everyone trying to compete, trying to get on that podium. What is going to happen in this final, 0.25K? It's going to be it's Albert Hesse versus Andrew Siegel for the top spot. Everyone is flowing down to see what is going to happen. Coach is running across the trail, getting ready in case something breaks, driving into 7-foot deep snow as they fall through. We're waiting around the tree. We're going to see the first action of it live. Oh my goodness, what has happened? Oh my goodness, it looks like Andrew Siegel is taken back over. He has come out of the woods in front. He has taken a lead on Albert Hesse, and he is skiing as hard as he can. Albert Hesse is going to finish 2nd, it looks like. Well, Aiden Rip now finishes 3rd, I believe. Directly behind him is bib number 3. Bib number 3, that's Matthew Hemp out of nowhere. And then finally here coming in, that's bib number 8. Bib number 8 was Eric DeFalco. But oh my goodness, what a finish there. As we pan to the finish line in the finish corral, look at these athletes. Andrew Siegel held the challenge personally, came out of nowhere from the checkpoint to take that top spot. What an incredible, incredible final there for the men. Oh my goodness, I am on the edge of my seat. Whew. I don't have a color commentator here, but Matthew, my board operator, just leaned back and gave me the biggest smirk. We have put on a show today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. What an absolutely epic final race here today. I cannot say enough good things about the athletes. I cannot say enough good things about the volunteers and the staff and the coaches for getting everyone ready. Oh my goodness, what a finish. As I catch my breath, one final time here for you. I just want to again be the first to say thank you to Mammoth Mountain, California, to the USCSA volunteers and staff, to the athletes, to the coaches, to anyone that has anything to do with this event, to the parents, to the grandparents, to the cousins, to the siblings. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast. If you did, I hope you enjoyed your time with us. I apologize for any of the technical difficulties, but I assure you we did everything in our power to get you the greatest show we could. As we sign out one final time here for this sprint race here at Mammoth, California, I want to say one more thank you to everyone who works with me here in the production crew, my board operator, Matthew Wallace, my 2 cameramen, our camera woman in this case, Brittany and Josiah, their husband, or Brittany's husband and Josiah's father, JT, for all of the technical work. I couldn't have done it without any of them. Beeve for jumping in. Boss for bringing me here. I am literally speechless. We are signing off for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for a memorable, epic day here at Mammoth Mountain, California.